Hey guys. All right. Let's see. We are live on Instagram, Facebook. Needs a minute, and here we go. Hey guys, so good to be here with you today. My name's Chanel Nielsen. Welcome, welcome if you're new here. I know we have a lot of new faces, so I am super glad that you're here, and I am excited about this content today. So I woke up this morning. As you know, we've been talking about morning routines last week. I journal in the morning, and I woke up and just knew exactly what we were going to get into for this live stream today. And it's so good, and it's something that is relevant to me right now, but it's probably really relevant to you because we are in summer, and in summer there's so much going on. I was on a podcast recently, and we were talking about, we kind of think, oh, summer, it'll be like the lazy days of summer, kind of like when you were a kid. But it turns out that summer is really busy for moms, and there's always so much going on. Personally, so last weekend we had a family reunion for the long weekend. And then right after that, we came home. The next day, we had guests in town. The next day, we started a family reunion with my family, and that we stayed local, but we still were involved in this family reunion all day. So it's been like 2 weeks of back to back to back family reunion guests and family reunion, which has been awesome. Like, it's been so great. But it can be really hard to stay on top of things and to get things done. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that because even though I've had a lot going on lately, I've still been able to get on calls with people who are interested in learning more about group coaching. I've been able to show up for these videos and to, stay up with my social media and do the things that I need to do there. And I've been able to do the most important things for my business, even while I am putting so much energy and time into family and relationships and those kind of things. And this doesn't only work when you are balancing like family, vacations and commitments and stuff like that, but how often does life get in the way? Just like things come up, or your kids are sick, or so often our best plans are derailed, and we have these things we want to do and they don't get done. And I want to talk to you about the method that I use and how it can really help you to stick to what matters and to get those things done that are really important. So the reason why I feel like I've been able to get stuff done even during, family vacations and stuff like that is because of something I do called eating the frog. Let me get a sip of water really quick. Okay, so eat the frog. You probably, if you've been around a while, you've heard me talk about this before. Eating the frog it means that it comes from a quote by Mark Twain, and he says, if you have to eat a live frog in the morning, you should do it first thing because you won't have anything worse to do than that all day. And the idea is you do the worst first, but it's not just like do the worst thing first because it's the worst. It means that big thing that is weighing on your mind, the thing that you know would make a difference for you, the thing that really matters to do. And I know for me, before I really learned and put into practice this concept, I would make these really long to-do lists because there's a lot to do. There are so many things to do. So I'd write all these things. What do I need to do? And then I wanted some success. I wanted to feel like I was doing something. So what would I do? I would look like, what can I get done? Well, I can schedule a doctor's appointment, or I can do something that's pretty simple on that list. Order new pants for my son on Amazon, or whatever simple things are on that list, because then I check it off and I feel that feeling of success. Does anyone else feel like that? Do you like that little like check? Our brains are actually wired to like that. We get a little hit of, is it dopamine? It's dopamine when we check stuff off, and we're like, yes, that was good. I felt good checking that off. And so we want that experience of checking things off. So for me, I would often go with the easiest. Another thing that often happens is we go with the most urgent. So like, okay, I have to do all these things, but this is coming due, or, my son doesn't have any clothes left, so I have to do laundry today. It's urgent. It's not necessarily the most important thing on our list, but like we get into that moment of, oh no, I haven't done it. This is urgent. I must do it now. Or else there will be some kind of consequence. And so we live our life either doing the easiest thing or doing the most urgent thing. And what happens when we spend our time doing those instead of the most important, instead of eating the frog doesn't get eaten. And so for me, and I'll talk a little bit more about what this looks like. Before I say that, let me say, why does this work? So eating the frog, we're saying, okay, do the most important thing first and kind of don't worry about the rest. This works for two reasons. One is because of something called the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule means that you are getting 80% of your results, the large chunk of your results, from 20% of the things that you're doing. So you want to make sure that you do those most important things. Those are your 20%. When you do those few things, you're going to get the majority of the results that you want in your life. And then the other thing I was going to talk about, we'll get into that a little later. All right, let me talk about this. So how does this work in life? Because I usually have, for frogs, my frogs that I'm eating every morning, I usually have about 3 frogs. Now, for me, my frogs are generally business related, although sometimes if I feel that it's really important to, say, strengthen a relationship in my family, or I notice things are off, I'm not feeling as close to my husband or to one of my kids, then I'm going to add that, and that's going to be one of my frogs to connect with a certain person on that day. But for me, my business items are usually my frogs. Those are the 3 things that I know that are going to move me towards my goals, and I'm going to eat those frogs every single day. But there are other things in life. And so as I thought about, like, how am I getting all those most important things done? There were 3 things that I came up with. So there are things that are most important to my personal growth and my self-care. And I get those done by having a regular morning routine. We talked about this all last week. If you haven't watched those videos, go back and watch them. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Anyways, so if you haven't, you can go back and check those out. That morning routine keeps me grounded in the fundamentals. It keeps me grounded in the basics, the things that I know that I need to thrive. So I've got those going every day. Then with my family, the things that are most important for my family are also routines. They're things like family dinner, reading scriptures together at night, praying as a family, tucking the kids in bed, those kind of things. And then the business, the things that are most important for my business are those frogs. I narrow it down. If I could only do 1 to 3 things in my business today, what is the most important? What 3 things would I choose? And that is what I do, and those are my frogs. Now, sometimes it happens that I do those things and I feel like, okay, the kids are busy doing something else, or I've taken care of my chores or whatever, and I can still put more time into my business. Sometimes I'll do a few extra things, but those are the things that I feel like must get done and that have to happen to see the results that I want to see. When you cross those big frogs off, something magical happens with your family. And what that is you're able to put work behind you. And I say work, but I know some of you are not necessarily working for money. That doesn't matter. You still have personal goals, whether that's a podcast that you're working on, or a book, or even like a family scrapbook, whatever it is, those things that you're like, I want to get this done. Once you have done what you said you were going to do and you've eaten the frog, then when you go to spend time with your family, you can turn off all those things that go in your mind, like, oh my gosh, I should have done this. I need to do this. I need to do this. No, I ate the frogs. I'm done. That is called psychological detachment. And that means you're able to be where you are. You're able to be with your family. You're able to spend time with them and connect with them. And that's a really powerful thing that following this process will give you. So hopefully this is helpful. Eating the frog every single morning, doing the most important things, is going to give you so many benefits in the results that you see, also in your family time, and keeping that morning routine so you have the basics, you have the foundation, and keeping those other routines. Routines are so exciting. Like, I could geek out about that all day long. They're fun, they're exciting because they keep you going and they keep your life running smoothly, even when things are crazy all around you. even when you've got family reunions, even when the kids need you, you have this foundation and this base so that you are still becoming who you want to become no matter what life throws at you. So I hope this has been helpful. Tomorrow we are going to have a guest, and we're going to talk together about context-based to-do lists, because as we've talked about today, you're doing those most important things, but maybe you have a question in your mind, which is, okay, I'm doing those most important things, but I still have like a lot of other things on my to-do list. How do I get those done? Where does that come into play? And that is what our guest is going to talk about tomorrow. She is the creator of a planner that I use, and I have found it really helpful to use her method. So we're going to have her on. Mom Life Made Simple starts July 19th. That is just a week away. And if you have not yet, there is still time. You can pop on a call this week and get all set up to go with us for next group. That starts July 19th. It's a 3-month group program where we work together to create these routines that we've talked about today in your life, where we help you figure out what is the most important thing, what are your goals, what do you want to work towards, and how can we help you get there, help you see progress, help it feel effortless and easy. The reason this group is called Mom Life Made Simple, I switch back and forth between Mompreneur Life Made Simple and Mom Life Made Simple. The reason it's called that is because I want it to feel simple for you. It's never going to feel easy. It's not easy, but it can feel simple when you know exactly what you need to do. You take care of those things and you just work through those, and it feels effortless even when life is hard. So I would love to have you hop on the phone and meet up with me. Let's talk and get you in this group if this is for you. Have a great day, you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.